Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to Vigyan Technologies. So let's understand the scenario here. So the scenario is like this. Process the file sequentially. So what does it exactly mean? There are multiple files of the same category present in the folder. And these files, let's assume, consist of order information about the transaction. Okay. And each files may consist of different statuses for the same order. The latest file will have the latest status of an order and the oldest file or the older files will have the older status. So now we have to build a BODS job to process these files sequentially to ensure that the details of the order are the latest. So what does it exactly mean? So let me get back to the remote desktop and I have the files here. The files are capturing the information related to order. So if I open this file here, so this has got transaction ID, product, date, status. And the transaction ID is 123 and the product that has been purchased is Redmi mobile and the date is 2019-0801. The status of this particular transaction ID is placed. So if you look at the latest file for the same order of 123, you see here there are different statuses captured for this particular order. So transaction ID 123, this has got the status as a placed and another record has the status as packed, shipped. Okay, so likewise you can see it final status as cancelled. Okay, so now I have to ensure that all these files are processed in sequentially in such a way that I should be capturing the latest status only in the target table. I don't want all the statuses of an order. So how do we do that, guys? So let's build a sample job to perform this particular activity. So let's create the sample job here. So let's say order details underscore JB and let me just create the data flow here order underscore details underscore data flow. So now I have created already a file format here. So this format is pointing to the folder where the files are present. And if you look at, I had just given the file name here. So since we have to process all the files at a time, so we should be using a star here. Okay, so it is a regular expression of the wildcard characters. This ensures that it will try to process all the txt file whose name starts with order info underscore. So let's close the file format and then use this file format as a source here. Let's use the query transform over here and in the query transform. Okay, so let's use let's include the file name over here because we need the file name and the file name consists of date and timestamp here. So I get the file name here and just map all these things. And from the file name, what I would do is I just want to capture only the date and timestamp here. You see here all the file names have got the date and timestamp here. So I have to get the timestamp here. So if you look at the timestamp, so this is 11th character and from 11 it has a 8 characters. So I use a substring to get only a timestamp or the date information into a column here. So how do I get this? So a I just create a new column here. I would just call this as a timestamp. So you can just make it as an integer. Okay, so you have to use substring. So from the di underscore file name field, so you have to get from 11 to 8 characters. Okay, so I'm just getting this 11 to 8 characters here. Then just make this column as a primary key because I don't want to keep the duplicate records over there, right? And then let's use this particular column as an order by. So let's use the different statuses. Okay, and let's use timestamp field in the order by section. So it should be ascending order, so which ensures that the files are processed sequentially. Okay, so let's call this as a order underscore info. And let's make autocorrect load option. So this is used to ensure that observed operation is performed. So let's use the autocorrect load, set this to yes. Okay. And let me just increase the length of the columns over here. So let's keep the status as some 50 characters. Okay, and the date can be like this, and the product name. Let's keep the product name also some 50 characters so that data truncation will not happen. So let's save the changes. Let's try to validate this. So it is giving an error. Let's understand what the error it is giving. So if you look at here, it is saying that DI underscore file name was not found in the table order underscore info. Check the spelling of the referenced table and the column. Okay, so let's double click on this one. It will take you through the error information. You see here what happened over here. Okay, so the moment you just remove the mapping for this one, the column has been disappeared. So now I just step back here. I'll just try to say include the column name. Okay, and I should be able to see the mapping for this column. So now let me just try to validate this. So there is no error now. Let's execute this. So the job has got executed successfully. So let's look at the target here, how many records are present. Okay. So if you look at 123 here, okay, the transaction ID 123, so this has got the status as returned. So let's step back and check the file over here, which is 20130803. So let's look at the status of that one. So can we see here till this file, you can see a status as shipped. And let me just open another file over here. 123, it shows cancelled. And if you look at the other file over here, you see this is showing the status as returned. Okay, so this is how we ensure that the files are processed sequentially. So this is most frequently used scenario, especially when you are trying to process multiple files of same category. I hope this video is very helpful for you to process the file sequentially in future wherever you get these requirements. Thanks for watching the video. Please continue to watch the rest of the videos.